Hey everybody, Christine Williams here. I've been a realtor since 1999 in the state of Florida. I'm also a licensed real estate instructor. I own a school called Accredited Real Estate Institute. So it is the end of 2022. It's been a year of transition. We've had phenomenal and unprecedented rates rise as far as interest rates historically. In the past 2 or 3 weeks, they've actually settled back down a little bit. So here's the deal. Many agents have become licensed across the country in the past, 2 to 3 years when we were order takers. So there was a huge demand for homes. So there was more demand than supply. In other words, more buyers than we had availability. And we all know the drama and the trauma for those of us that had to put in offers for buyers over and over and over because they continued to miss out on multiple offer situations. Times have changed. So that was not normal. So if you've gotten in the market since like 2019, 2020, you were in a situation that was fantasy land in the world of real estate. So what we are in is actually a normal real estate market, or we're working on normalizing. We say a normal market is where the balance of supply and demand, availability of homes versus buyer demand, is around 6 months. So we're in this interesting situation where we still don't have enough supply to call it a balanced market, but there's definitely been a cooling off, mostly in regards to, again, interest rates rising, buyer interest, affordability of buyers, right? So we're going into 2023. Here we are at the end of December, early December, at the end of 2022. So whatever your goals were for 2022, all that you've got left are your pending transactions. 2022 is done. So now's the time when you start to look forward to 2023. I just had my meeting with my team member earlier, and we talked about our 2023 goals, who we already have in our pipeline for 2023 business moving forward. So here's what I want you to think about. Here's where the rubber meets the road, because now is also when we have to pay our annual dues to our local, state, and national associations. So wherever you are in the country or in the state of Florida, your membership dues are likely somewhere between $500 and $1,000 annually. They're due now. So do you have that kind of money going into 2023, right before the holiday season? Or are you going to continue your career? Because that's just your association dues. We all know you also have expenses of MLS, and that varies by several $100s a year as well. That's another subscription service. Then you have your eKey, right? The access to the homes. That's another subscription service. You have marketing expenses. So take a look back at what you've done in 2022, because there are less opportunities for home sales in 2023. Are you going to be able to sustain your household or yourself, whichever your personal situation is, at the income that you made in 2022? Because it's likely, not necessarily, but it is probable that it will actually go down in 2023, because here's some statistics. So I purchased the National Association of Realtors 2022 member profile. So this is page 6. So I just want to throw out some statistics as you start to examine your future and if real estate is the career that you want to be in. I'm not discouraging anybody from being in real estate, but I want you to be in this if you're going to treat it as a business, and if you're going to be in it full time, and if you know what a normal market looks like. So let's talk reality. So this is the business characteristics and activities of realtors by Real Estate Experience. Again, it was page 6 of the 2022 member profile, courtesy of the National Association of Realtors. So this is copyrighted material, so I won't be sharing it. I'm communicating verbally what this particular worksheet says. So for all realtors nationwide, the income for, I guess this was probably 2021 statistics, right? When we had a good year. 2022 was a slower year for many of us. So income under $100,000 was 71% of realtors. So depending on your cost of living wherever you are, that is gross income. That's before we pay our taxes, and that's before our brokerage fees, right? That's gross commissions. So let's break that down even further. You got to take out a chunk of that was 22% from between $50,000 and $100,000. So about half of that, so about 50% of realtors made less than $50,000 last year. Okay, let me repeat that. About 50% of realtors nationwide made less than a gross income of $50,000 in 2021. So as you're moving forward and you need to feed your family, or you have your own bills to pay, or you have expenses coming up medically or whatnot, or you're looking towards retirement, start thinking about what you're going to do career-wise. If you love real estate, then now's the time to put together your business plan. I can help you with that. I teach a class on that. I teach workshops on business planning. You've got to treat real estate as if you are the CEO. Most of us are independent contractors. The brokerage is what I call the liability umbrella. We hook our license underneath them, but they're not feeding us. Okay, they're not putting money on the table. They're not giving us buyers and sellers. That's not the responsibility of a brokerage. It's our job to go out and get the business and create it. So let's go on to agents that made $100,000 or more only comprised about 29%, 29 to 30%. So a third. We've always heard that in any sales business, it's 20% of the people that do 80% of the business. So this is somewhat similar along those lines, right? Here's a different breakdown. Agents with 2 years or less of experience, let's see how many, less than, or only 4%, let me put it that way. So with agents with 2 years or less of experience, only 4% topped $100,000 in income. So 96% made less than $100,000 if you've just gotten in the business during the interesting world we were living in during the pandemic. So anyway, I'm not going to go on. This report is, I think it's 19 pages long. So you can purchase it if you are a Realtor member through the National Association of Realtors. But the point is, now's the time in December 2022, we're moving into a normal market. This is why we take listings with sellers, exclusive agreements that last anywhere between 6 to 12 months, typically in a normal market. We're also going to have to educate consumers, i.e. especially sellers, that we are not in the same valuation model that we were in 8 months ago. So we're not going to get immediate multiple offers within the first few hours of putting a house on the market. So that we have to educate them with data. And you do that by attending economic seminars and educational seminars in relation to our business and what's going on in the world and market predictions. So if you're interested in a one-on-one budget planning session, I call it success planning because nobody wants to plan a budget, right? But if you want to do a successful business plan for yourself for 2023, then we can talk. And we will schedule that appointment via Zoom for a one-on-one consultation. Of course, there is a small professional fee for that. But in any event, just think about moving forward, what your life looks like in your real estate career future. Christine Williams, owner of Accredited Real Estate Institute, and I can be reached, and this is a long email, so spell every word out, integrity and authenticity@gmail.com. Happy holidays, everybody.